Welcome to the vlog. It is Thursday. It is currently 1 p.m. I am finishing up with my surgical center morning. So we have surgical center half days where I'm doing more of those advanced procedures. Today is one of those days where you realize how much of a team sport this is, or a team kind of cooperative effort when you have the physician doing the procedure, radiology tech who's taking the x-rays, running the x-ray machine to see exactly where we're going, and then also the anesthesiologist who is helping out in making sure that the patient is comfortable while the procedure is happening. And wasn't the smoothest today, and I realized today the importance of a physician kind of knowing every part of the procedure, not just our portion, but also exactly how to guide radiology and kind of how to keep an eye on things as far as pain, vitals, all those kinds of things, and also how important it is to stay cool if things are not going that smooth, because you are the team leader in that situation. So kind of the buck ends with you, so you have to make sure that everyone is doing their part to the satisfactory portion that they need to. And yeah, keeping your cool, maintaining composure, doing all those things are definitely critical. That is a vital skill to have if you're going to be doing advanced procedures. It is Friday. It is 1:30 p.m. I am done with my clinic because I have a half day on Fridays, and I'm actually headed to another clinic because I'm going to get PRP for myself. I think I've probably talked about it on this channel a couple of times, but PRP is a regenerative medicine treatment. I'm going to get my left hamstring injected. I've been dealing with some kind of chronic nagging left hamstring pain for about like 3 to 4 months, and I've tried the usual rehab, all that kind of stuff, and not doing too much, so I still feel it. So whenever I'm doing squats, I still feel it. I drop down the weight quite a bit, and because I have so much running upcoming in the next couple months, I wanted to make sure that I get this taken care of. Because I work at a practice that does a fair amount of PRP, we have the benefit of being able to do it for ourselves. So I'm going to have one of my attendings kind of PRP my left hamstring origin. It is a pretty painful injection up there. We'll see how much I can film of it. I'm not going to show you guys my butt as it's getting injected, but try to film some of it so that we can do a little bit of a teaching, and I can talk to you guys a little bit about what PRP is if you don't already know, and why I think it's a pretty dang decent treatment option. But I'm headed there to get that done right now. We'll see how I feel afterwards. Hopefully I'm able to drive home, but it's been pretty bothersome, and like even sitting on it has been pretty bothersome for the last couple of weeks to months. So let's see how this helps. I did not show getting my blood drawn because some people can get squeamish from that, but that is my blood already after one spin. Essentially what happens is that it separates out the layer. So at the bottom there is those red blood cells. At the top is the layer of plasma, which also has platelets in it. Essentially, so that's drawn up by a syringe. Then that's going to get put back into the centrifuge again to spin it down yet again for further concentration. For those who are interested, we use the M-Site kit at our practice, and based on the data and based on people doing actual cell counts, it is by far the best commercially available kit you can use for PRP, as it gets the best yield of those platelets, and it gets about 7 billion platelets per each kind of draw. So that was the second spin that just happened there, and now for this, we draw out 2 things. So there is leukocyte poor platelet-rich plasma, there's leukocyte-rich platelet-rich plasma. So this is the leukocyte poor stuff where we draw this kind of out, and then this just kind of sits there, and then we get to a layer which just has a lot of those leukocytes at that base layer, and then you spin that, and then that is what you take and then you put into another tube, and that is what we are going to use for our PRP. This clip is actually really good to have because it shows how we kind of do this process. A lot of the times our MAs or other nurses will be doing this while we are doing other sorts of injections. So oftentimes we don't actually get to see how this PRP is prepared, but it's using kind of the standardized kit that is given. So this is going to get kind of washed up, so we make sure we get all those leukocytes, grab everything that we can from there, and then we're going to draw it up. And then what she's going to do next is she's going to put in some of the leukocyte poor platelet-rich plasma back in to kind of sweep up everything else that we can get for a total yield of about like 6 to 7 cc's of PRP. And this is my yield. It looks like I got about 9 cc's of PRP because for whatever reason I have a good yield. So this is what's going to be injected into my left hamstring right here, what she's drawing up. No, I'm not going to show you guys pictures of my butt, but here are some fluoroscopic pictures coming up right now about where this was injected. So these are pictures using x-ray. This is of my left kind of butt area. So these are the bones where the hamstrings originate, and this is my attending showing us kind of exactly where he injected. You can see kind of that needle going in there, and then that dark spot is where the contrast dye is injected, and that predicts where the essentially the medicine is going to flow. All right, PRP is done. I'm headed home. I'm trying to get home as quick as possible because there is a anesthetic essentially in the injection, ropivacaine, along with the PRP, which essentially numbs up the area, which is good because PRP is relatively painful when you first get it because it's that pro-inflammatory cascade, which we'll talk about later on. But I'm trying to get home as soon as possible because this is going to start hurting pretty soon, and I want to be home and not driving and not stuck somewhere when that happens. All right, it's Friday night. My PRP is definitely a little bit sore, not terrible. I'm getting ahead of it by taking Tylenol. While you take PRP, you cannot use non-steroidal anti-inflammatories, essentially anti-inflammatories that'll bring that healing process down. Tylenol is perfectly okay, so I was proactive about it. Took 1,000 milligrams kind of right when I got home, and I'm about to take 1,000 milligrams right before bed. I'm imagining tomorrow morning when I wake up, it's gonna be pretty sore. I'm sitting here and I'm at my desk and I'm working this weekend. So I'm doing my inpatient moonlighting coverage, which you guys have seen on this channel before. I don't think I've shown you this part. So essentially I sit here and I prep all the notes for the admissions. So usually there'll be patients who are coming in and the afternoon portion of Friday into Saturday. You have 24 hours to do the admission notes. So for the most part, I do them on Saturdays. So there were 7 admissions that came in. So I'm going to see all of those new patients tomorrow. So I sit here and I prepare all that. I dig through their charts, find out what happened to them, find out kind of essentially what their history is, and then prepare their notes so that I'm ready to go tomorrow. So I know what's going on when I see them for the first time. And that preparation really makes things a lot smoother when I get there tomorrow. So I did 4 of them now. I'm gonna wake up early and do 3 of them tomorrow, and then get to work hopefully by 6:45 and then get rounding. So yeah, that's my Friday into this weekend. We'll see how things go. Good morning, everyone. It is 6:30 a.m. on Saturday. Woke up and my hamstring is definitely sore, more sore than yesterday. Tylenol and the numbing agent from the actual injection are definitely fully worn off. So I was expecting worse, but not too bad. Still able to get around. Definitely painful to kind of go and stretch and kind of use my hamstring, like when I'm picking stuff off the ground. So I have to bend fully for those kinds of things, but not too bad. Took a little bit more Tylenol and I'm on my way to the hospital to go see all the patients. I have, like I said, 7 admissions, so gonna be a little bit longer than usual. It is also a fantastic morning because Arsenal lost to Bournemouth. Most of you probably have no clue what that means, but that is a huge win for me as a Man City fan because it means that most of our destiny for winning the Premier League is somewhat back into our hands. All we have to do is win our match next week that we have against them, win our match in hand, and we are pretty much level with them on points. So fantastic morning so far. Another morning done, moonlighting, rounding, and time to go home. Man City plays Chelsea at 8:30. That's my biggest goal to get home by today. 8:20, so I got 10 minutes. And the PRP was done in my hamstrings. That doesn't mean I cannot work out upper body. So here is a little bit of a clip from my upper body workout here. I have been focusing mostly on getting in and out as quick as possible for a lot of my workouts. So I do one main movement on each of my upper and lower days for the muscle group. And then I do a accessory movement. So in this case, it's chest flies. And I superset almost everything. So a main heavy set and my back off set, I'll be supersetting something. So in this case, I'm doing my chest flies with bicep curls. Before this, I did incline dumbbell presses with 100-pound barbell dumbbells, and I did some sort of hammer curl with that, I think. So I definitely try to get in as much as I can. Usually I'm out of the gym in 35 to 40 minutes, and not like too crazy strength goals at this point, but just trying to maintain a lot of muscle mass while the miles will start to kick back up as I have some of my races coming on. And for those of you who are wondering, Manchester City did win against Chelsea in a resounding win, 3-0. Stay tuned for this next vlog because there is some exciting stuff going up, including a trip to London. So we are outside walking Kyoko on her nightly walk, and it is a beautiful night in Phoenix. Finally, it's cool. It's probably like 60 and pretty dang windy tonight. Feels dang good to be cold, not having to worry about the heat here at night. 4 p.m. on a Tuesday, work is done. I had my first AC joint injection of fellowship, which somehow I haven't had that. It's a pretty easy injection to do, but it's one that you do out of plane, which means that you don't see the needle the entire way. So haven't done that kind of injection in a while, but pretty easy to pick back up. Did several of them in residency. Feels good. Patient went from 10 out of 10 pain to like a 1, so right spot. This is also absolutely peak Phoenix weather right now. It's like 80 and sunny, slight breeze going on. This morning it was 55, needed a little bit of an outer layer. This is exactly why people say Phoenix is amazing in the winter, although it's almost mid-April. So a little bit odd timing, but I'll take it. Have not run in the last week with this PRP to give it some time to rest, but still doing some cardio with walking. It's Wednesday, done with clinic for the day. It is pretty beautiful weather again here in Phoenix. Let's chat in the car, but that's probably gonna be the end of this vlog. All right, so let's talk about the PRP that I got. So number one, what is PRP? PRP is platelet-rich plasma. It is essentially drawing your own blood, spitting it down for just the healing factors, which are the platelets. So like if you get a cut on your skin, it's the platelets that go and start that healing process, start the clot. So essentially the idea is that if you take that, you spin it down, you bring just the platelets and you inject that into a spot that you can get a good healing response. There's fairly good evidence for PRP for a lot of different things. Like chronic tendon, all those different kinds of injuries and muscle injuries. I've had this chronic hamstring pain for quite some time, like 3 to 4 months, and like I said, I got PRP at a pretty low cost, so it was not really any sort of side effects from it because it's drawn from my own blood. So I went and got that injected. Typically for the first week or so, it's pretty sore because it starts with the inflammatory process because it's bringing all those healing things, which include some sort of inflammatory molecules that I'm not going to get into right now. But the soreness has, for the most part, gone away already. This is day I think 5 after the injection. It's mostly just a little bit painful to sit on it now for an extended amount of time, which still makes sense. So I think that's going pretty well. The real effects of PRP don't really show up for several weeks because it is a chronic healing process that it's going on. My biggest goal is that I'm going to kind of start working back up on some of those higher, more heavy squats, which is when I was feeling most of it. And then over time, hopefully I can start to do more and more of that and not feel that hamstring. It's also going to be pretty good for my running season, which will really start to pick up once May and June comes around. So overall, not a bad experience. I thought it would be a little bit worse as far as pain goes. In fact, I was told that I might need tramadol for this, which did not need it. Just got away with a little bit of Tylenol, so not bad. It's been a pretty good week. This next vlog will be absolutely crazy because I'm doing a quick flight over all the way across the pond to the UK. So make sure you're staying tuned for that because it'll be a fantastic vlog with a lot of exciting stuff. Otherwise, thanks for watching. As always, if you need anything or if you are curious about anything, drop it down below in the comments. Happy to answer it or make an entire video on it. And I'll see you in the next one.